The purpose of the Wakeboarding Hall of Fame, or the WHOF, is to honor and preserve all things wake, wakeboarding, wake skating, and wake surfing. It is solely operated by past and present riders and, of course, industry people. What do you say, Tommy? Can we start the inductions?
There's Tony Finn right there, Pagey.
Can we bring Tony Finn up here? Let's get Tony Finn up here right now.
He's going to be our first inductee. He's one of our founding inductees.
All right, guys, he is one of the founding inductees. Let's bring this man up here, one of the living legends himself. Give it up for the man who popularized skiboarding to what it is today, Mr. Tony Finn. And Tony, we got some, I'm gonna throw this hand right there for you. We got some really nice things that I'm gonna read about you right here. Tony Finn founded the Skirfer with his partner John Hamilton, and their first foam-filled boards were shipped in April of 1985. He went on to become the poster boy for the new sport of skiboarding. Finn himself solidified the term. As a colorful character, Tony was the driving force behind dozens of eye-catching articles, groundbreaking ads, and videos. He pioneered the travel story, held photo contests, and became the frontman for the first Skirfer Skiboard World Championships in 1990. In later years, he partnered with Jimmy Redmon to found Wake Tech, and later the two men started Liquid Force. Finn was a longtime TV announcer for wakeboarding and continues to be active in wake sports. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your founding inductee, Mr. Tony Finn.
Hey, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Tommy, for creating the Wakeboarding Hall of Fame.
Thank you, buddy.
That's so rad. Let's hear it for Tommy, you guys. It's just super cool. Tommy really deserves the most important award, because nobody would have done this if it wasn't for him. So, dude, I'm super, super stoked that you did that, and you're going to continue to do that. And also, wakeboarding, wake surfing, and wake skating are very, very young sports, and we're going to keep on cranking, and they're going to grow and grow and grow for the next 100 years. So let's hear it for all of our fun sideways sports. Woo! Everybody!
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Mr. Tony Finn. All right, and hopefully this guy is right around the area. We get him down here right now. Our next inductee, ladies and gentlemen, the guru of wake. Give it up for Jimmy Redmon. All right. From his first Redline design skiboard in the 1980s to the scores of signature model wakeboards, as a co-founder of Wake Tech and Liquid Force, Jimmy Redmon has been the preeminent shaper of his generation. His iconic work came in 1994 as the lead designer of the Flight 69, the first twin-tip, twin-fin board that came to represent a new style of riding. As a promoter, Redmon was one of the earliest organizers of competitions. His image was featured prominently as the centerpiece of the first World Wakeboard Association logo in the early 1990s, and Jimmy went on to become the WWA's president for almost a decade in the late 90s and ending in the mid-2000s. For nearly 30 years, the WHOF inductee Jimmy Redmon has continued to be one of the most influential figures in all of wake. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Redmon.
Man, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I get to do what I love, and I do it for free. I happen to get paid. It's awesome. I just love making boards and love making people have fun. Let's keep it going.
Keep it going for that guy, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Redmon. Our next inductee redefined our sport. His name is the legendary Mr. Herb O'Brien. In January 1991, Herb O'Brien unveiled the HO Hyperlight. It was the first compression molded wakeboard, and the customer response was immediate and dramatic. The thin profile and near neutral buoyancy boards allowed for much easier starts and a greatly improved performance on the water. Hyperlight's first full-page ad featured two-time world champion Eric Perez with the bold title, Wakeboarding, and the HO Hyperlight defines the sport. Herb's new board was such a game changer that in many ways it did redefine the sport. The foam-filling floated ski boards of the 1980s gave way to thin-profile, high-performance wakeboards in the 1990s and beyond. Herb went on to become the driving force behind a new company, Hyperlight Wakeboards, which continued with innovative products and events to help establish the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, to come on up here and accept Herb O'Brien's award, please make some noise for his son, the one and only P.O.B. Paul O'Brien.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Love you, Dad. Miss you. Think about you every day. Appreciate this.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Herb O'Brien, his son right there, Mr. P.O.B. Paul O'Brien. All right, you cannot forget about the men behind the lenses who have made so many so famous for so long. Decades of groundbreaking images in our next inductee into the Wakeboarding Hall of Fame. Give it up for Mr. Tom King. Tom King has been active at the highest levels of water sports photography for more than 30 years. As a staff photographer for Water Ski Magazine, King snapped classic cover shots of Tony Finn on his Skirper all the way back in 1986, and Eric Perez on the original Hyperlight in 1991. King was active in the earliest days of the sport, capturing iconic images with many of the world's best riders, including Scott Byerly, Parks Bonifay, and so many more. When Wakeboarding Magazine launched in 1993, King was hired to shoot the planned cover for the premiere issue, which has since become iconic in the sport. Through the years, King's skills with his camera have landed him a steady work with dozens of publications and manufacturers all around the world. King's backyard studio on the Butler chain of lakes in Orlando has been the launching point for scores of classic images. Wakeboarders from around the world made the journey to Central Florida, the longtime mecca for towed water sports, just for the opportunity to shoot with Mr. Tom King. Few, if any, have had such a long-standing and meaningful portfolio, not just in wake, but in towed water sports and beyond. If you follow wake in print, then you've certainly seen some of it through the eye of Tom King, who has stood the test of time as one of the all-time greats water sports photographers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom King.
Thank you. I want to thank Tommy again, but also Tony Claridge, who did a lot of the work, like digging up photos I couldn't find and might not have wanted to find, but thanks for getting this Wakeboard Hall of Fame going and celebrating the sport we all love. And I also want to thank all the athletes that I've worked with over the years, the magazines, including our host here in Alliance and my longtime client, Wakeboard Magazine 2, and then all the companies that basically have been my patrons that allowed me to make a living doing what I love and not having to get a real job or shoot weddings on weekends. So thank you all.
Keep it going, guys. Mr. Tom King. All right, our next inductee, ladies and gentlemen, wakeboarding's first star. Give it up for Mr. Eric Perez. The Flying Hawaiian spanned the gap between the foam-filled boards of the late 80s and the new compression-molded wakeboard of 1991. He won at the first World Championships in 1990 on a Skirper and defended his world title in 1991 on the first Hyperlight that he had a major hand in designing. As the original team rider for Hyperlight, he became the front man for the sport. In the years before Wakeboarding Magazine, Perez scored the cover, a poster, and a big coverage in Water Ski Magazine. Perez used his surf background to infuse wakeboarding with a new style, and along the way he invented tricks like the tantrum and rolled a revert. In the early 1990s, he starred in the first Hyperlight promo video, which helped sell thousands of boards around the world. Eric's pioneering journey took place largely before the days of Wakeboarding magazine and the Pro Tour, so his story has been largely untold. The Wakeboarding Hall of Fame is honored to recognize Eric Perez as a 2015 athlete inductee. Give it up for the Flying Hawaiian, Mr. Eric Perez.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot. It's amazing to see all these faces I haven't seen in like 25 years. 25 years, seriously. But no, you guys are all doing great. I want to thank Tommy for inviting me to come out here so I can see all you folks and see how the industry's changed so much over the years. And I'm looking forward to stopping by and seeing some of you guys at your booths and seeing the new designs and all the boards. And but the sport itself is amazing. I mean, the things I'm seeing guys doing now, we couldn't have dreamed of back then. So you guys have kicked butt and keep kicking butt. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flying Hawaiian, Mr. Eric Perez. Our next and final inductee for the 2015 class, ladies and gentlemen, she is the first woman of Wake. Please put your hands together for the one and only Andrea Gaytan. Andrea was a pioneer in women's wakeboarding. Like many of the earliest riders in wakeboarding, she was a trick skier who made the switch to wakeboarding. In the days before there even was a women's division, Andrea challenged against the men of wakeboarding on the Pro Tour. When a women's division was finally added to the World Championships in 1993, Andrea ran the table for the next 4 straight years, winning world titles in 1993, 94, 95, and 1996. Andrea was a media darling, appearing on several covers and getting several featured sections in classic wakeboarding movies such as Gravity Sucks and Hit It. Gaytan helped to blaze the trail in the wilderness for women's riders, and her pioneering efforts have helped shape the state of women's riding to this day. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the first woman of Wake and the final inductee in the 2015 Wakeboarding Hall of Fame, Andrea Gaytan.
Thank you so much, everyone. This has probably been the highest honor I've received in my life. Thank you, Tommy, for putting the Wakeboard Hall of Fame together. And to all my peers, Sonia, Dana, everybody that inspired me. To all the industry that believe that the women are worthy of having a career of pro athletes. And to all my sponsors that supported me throughout the time. Thank you so much. Thank you, God.
All right now I want to get all of the inductees who are still here with us to make their way on over for a photo up in front. We want to thank all of you guys for checking out. If you haven't liked the Wakeboarding Hall of Fame page on Facebook or check them out online, the Wakeboarding Hall of Fame page online, please be sure you guys do just that. Once again, the Wakeboarding Hall of Fame is here to honor and preserve all things wake, and we would obviously appreciate all of your guys' support moving into the future. Want to thank Tommy Phillips and the entire crew from Wakeboarding Hall of Fame. I'm the Noise of the North, Dan LaManna. I'll see you guys tonight at Wake Awards. Thank you to the crew from Alliance for hosting us this morning.